Greetings, Earth, back with another video. I'm going to be talking about the entire planet as Brazilians are now increasing the attacks against me, and I'm facing family conspiracy. I'm facing worldwide conspiracy. I'm going to be explaining for the right authorities in case if I'm gone or if I die or whatever. The whole Brazilian deal started in a little mud place in Brazil. The entire Brazil, and I believe the entire planet, set up a conspiracy against me, a conspiracy theory plan against me, which they did many crimes and then they put all in my back. And they've been living since then with this alibi. They graduate lawyers, they graduate police, they keep building families and empires behind this alibi. There is many types of organized crime between this theory. It's a Zulu tribe, which is black people from tribes of Africa. It has a nature on Mandela. Mandela probably is planning to take over the entire planet even after he's gone. I don't know if he's gone or if he's still alive, if he's headed somewhere. There's many Christian prophecies that we are supposed to follow. And even those that are not Christians, they have to follow because Jesus is in the way of all subjects of the entire planet. And most people don't like that, so they create crimes and theories against people like myself. When I was a child, my family, along with the conspiracy organization, I don't know who was, they took me to a ghetto place down in Brazil. Then they set up many strange situations against me. Back in the time, I was very innocent. I did not know what was happening. I thought that was just life. Now I know that they work on my sexuality. I remember that they were taking me back and forth between houses. I know vaguely about my privacy life of my family and all that. Many times I tried to ask, I got yelled at. I guess I'm not supposed to know things. Then they took me to so many houses, and what now as an adult telling the world about it, I can tell you that what they were doing, they were creating memories on me so that when Brazil becomes doomed, which is becoming for certain areas, they would access my brain by thought-provoking, thought suggestion, being parasites of my daily routines, which is controlled by them. Brazilians and probably the entire planet lives as parasites from my reflections of my thoughts. When we have a thoughts, when we're in the bathroom or alone, just thinking about out and about, just thinking, they are acting upon what we are thinking, reflecting. Brazilians and the entire planet organized crime, they base my poop time, my bath time into homosexuals so that they can justify their attitudes and their daily routines and their sexual style. Also, they mass produce homosexuals and they study all the things that might trick my attention, and then they start bombing me with information from TV, fake news, novellas. Novellas in Brazil are all about organized crime and crime jail bonds. Right now, I don't know if they're trying to kill me or if they're just like wasting my time. But I know that what they did, it's something really serious, and I'm facing not just Brazil, not just Brazilian corrupted police, Brazilian corrupted government. I'm facing a lot of strangers. Strangers, they take advantage of my situation and they start acting on my whatever opportunity that I might have in life. They assume my thoughts. Let me give you an example. Let's say that there's a job on a store on the corner of my house and I see an ad of a job. Then if I come, the strangers that surrounds and stalks me, they start stalking and assuming my thoughts. All of a sudden, they're like looking life within me. Then they wait until I reflect when I think about the idea. When I think about the idea, if I agree with myself that I might try that job the next day, when I go there will be a gigantic line in front of me. It's been this way since I know myself as a person. They always put people ahead of me of anything that I try to do in life, school, jobs, careers, anything, weddings, marriage, girlfriends, crushes, datings, anything that before I used to think, well, I'm being very bad luck, but it's not. It's the entire planet it's a conspiracy against myself. I think that this conspiracy has to do something. This is what I came up with. When I was younger, they took me to many different places. My father used to show off everywhere with his outsources and everything else. And then he lived his existence with outsources, many women and all types of crimes with. He didn't do crime, but Afro-descendants took his image, and then that's what Afro-descendants do. They take our image, then they do our versions of personality into crimes and homosexuals, drugs and police subjects and so on. Then after he was older, they took me to a ghetto area. Then they start many different freak ways of treating me. They were like creating games. They were constantly calling me for games outside. I was just a child. Meanwhile, the TV was working behind my back. The TV with my government, with United States and so on. In the United States, they kept one girl. His name, it's a little girl. Her name usually is Dakota. It's a girl, it's a prototype that they hide. She's usually blonde. They hide her somewhere in the world, sometimes Alaska. Whoever go looks for her, she will be transferred to a safe place. This woman, this girl, this little girl will become a woman, like knowing everything about politicians, everything about law, everything about everything. She's trying to surpass God, which is still there, commanding us and guiding us. But this prototype, they did this when I was younger. She has the same age as me. I did not know about her existence when I was a child. When I was a child, they made many types of approach of women on me. I know every single thing about high school all the way to college. I know their drill, every single thing, crime, bullies, every single thing, jails, and daily routine of Brazilians as a torture. They provoke each other and they provoke me now. Then they start like games with children and trying to involve me. Many times they offer me drugs, they put me into alcohol, they try to put me in cigarettes. They kept me on cigarettes for several years. Then one day they kept showing me like prostitute children, all that is in deep webs. They tried to show me and put me into it. Then this conspiracy has to do with my brother. My brother, it's type of a criminal that picks up everything that every situation that I go in, he will pick it up what is left over. It's like a invisible spy, Satan, demon. I did not know that when I was younger. Now I know. Then they start showing me a woman. This woman was trying to push me to have sex with her. I was a virgin still. She was trying to push me to have sex with her and trying to create a situation. I even knew how to do it. And became his eventually first wife. He had like several, maybe like ton of wives, and in this Brazilian conspiracy. Then I didn't do anything. It was kind of weird. The sex that I used to have was just a child sex, just touching each other, and we thought we would call that sex. Then the Rede Globo, Brazilians, my family, and the entire planet start put a group of children to go in my house, play with me, toys and everything else. The family days out there it's a family days. It's from a conspiracy that has to do with Chaves, the program, and the Passion of Christ, which they are going to apply against me in the future. I did not know, otherwise I would act different. Then these children, they start creating sex situation with me and them, which would become the youth right now bully against me. So I did not know. We didn't have sex. We kind of touched each other as children, and nothing happened. After that, they molested me in a mysteriously way. After they molested me in a mysteriously way, my sister started involving with transvestites, gays, and this start happening. They start pushing me a lot, and they start involving me with adult stuff, crazy things. They went like 20, 30 years on this mess of harassing against me. Then there was a guy that came in. His name was Richarlis Gomes. He was kind of gay, but my mother has like this cop out way of cutting me off when I used to try to call her for help. So now I know she's involved, which is a bad thing to talk about because she's kind of helped me, but I know she's probably still in this track to try to get me into a homosexual, and I want to see what this is going to go. Then this supposed lawyer, I was like, after that, I forgot. I seriously, I don't remember much about what happened because the way they molest people, it's a takeover. They take over our personality, they take over our brain, and then they make us do things that we're not supposed to do or we don't want to do just because the world's conspiracy. I'll explain to you later how they do that and how it's done. I guess they were looking for a strong man to talk about homosexual and justify their style of life because there's something that blocks them between religions. They make fortunes with it, and they sacrifice one child each generation. And many times there's mass of LGBT out there. It's all about this conspiracy that they did against me. They fake it's not because otherwise they would have to give me money or they would have to make me famous. And they don't want to make me famous because they want to control me. By controlling me is by keeping me poor and out of no help. That's why they push me to argue and have a bad relationship with every single one. That's their argument. You fight with everyone because they want, first they break my benefits with police, governments, and now they're going worldwide. Now probably they are either trying to push someone to molest me like seriously or kill me. That's what I think, being 100% meaning that I that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I think. Everything TV for me is a lie. Coronavirus is a lie. All the people that died for me is a lie. I never seen anyone really being buried. When I was a child, they killed many people around me. They killed a guy around me when we were in a party there. Now I have a neighbor just like the guy. He keeps harassing me. I never seen this guy. I never spoke to him. Spoke to him maybe one day or two, but we don't know each other. They keep creating spies around me, people that rent around me to spy on me, to monitorize my poop, to talk when I'm pooping, to pee when I'm pooping, many things. And all these guys, they're kind of like my age, and they disappear and they lie and they go to drug dealers, conspiracy gathering, and then they talk about me. They talk when they're gonna kill me, when they're gonna not, when they're gonna do, what can they do? Can they punch me? Can they kick me in the street? Can they that's what they do every day for several years. Then back to the little ghetto. This Richarlis Gomes, he started coming around at matches, and he became part of the family all of a sudden. Like I did not know that. All of a sudden, he became our friends. He was my older sister, supposed sister. She's my aunt. She have ton of spies all over the world about this conspiracy. She is on it as well. She's type of a mystica. She changed into anything. Supposed to be a Christian, but it's not. Then one day I was here, they almost killed me with alcohol. I think the plan was to really get me into homosexuality. Because we live in a predicted life. Everything that we're living right now is predicted. Everything I'm saying right here, it's already been said from TV, because there's women in TV that they take my place. And then they use the argument that I'm gay, that men won't respect, so therefore they can speak for me or above me or at me or whatever. That was women's plan. Every woman you see talking from her elbows, it's because she's using she's walking in my shoes. She's using this argument. They use many arguments to take my manly from me. Then when I was here, Brazilians, they used to be very rich, and there's always a guy, his name Marcos, that shows up in life. This guy, usually he's gay, he's bisexual, he's straight, he's rich. He always get free cars, like fancy cars out of nowhere. Every neighborhood of poor people, there is one type of those guys. Sometimes they use the argument of the size of our dicks, that he can, we cannot, and all that. But it's all about Brazilian police conspiracy, government conspiracy, a lot of crap that it's like nasty. Then this guy came here and he tried one more time. He called me to go out with him. I went out with him. I was young. I was just about partying and go out. Then everything was so like set up that I kind of like, oh, this is a setup. Two girls came in and like, oh, let's do something. And then they took me with them to his house. Then he forged a situation that I raped the girl or something. He said that he gave me some medicine, he gave me some vitamins to give to the girl, and I said no. The girl threw the glass away, the liquid inside the glass away. There was a little fragments of the vitamins inside the cup. So the next day in the morning, the police civil came and invited me in. So I believed that I went there. So they tried to take me to jail. I was just 17, couldn't get arrested, but they took me anyways. Everything set up by my brother-in-law, my family, government, police, him, everything. Then I went there. In the jail, he was about to take me with criminals, murderers, rapers, and everything. They were going to kill me inside. Then this supposed Richarlis came in, and he saved me from those guys. Another setup, probably they were trying to make me start admiring him and all that. After he saved me, he came in as a lawyer, which I appreciate as well, but was a setup, and doesn't mean that he was legit. They took me back home. I came home. Nothing happened. I was 17. All that. This Richarlis started taking me around and asking me my sexual private life, asking details, how I used to do with him. How do you touch women? How do you do? When I was very young, I was very innocent. I used to look at him as a friend after what he did. So I would tell him. And I was kind of like thinking to myself, damn, this guy's kind of like feminine a little bit. He's not really into women. Why? He's asking me this. But then I'm thinking like to myself, I'm going to be a good Samaritan. I'm just going to say it. Maybe it will increase his manly and it will help him. So I start telling him details and think like, oh, nothing's going to happen. But I did not know that everything I spoke my entire life has been spread throughout Brazilians and the entire world. Since I was born in 1978 until this very day, Brazilians in the entire planet made the entire planet based it on me, on my lives, if little lies or not. Story short, Brazilians, what they did, they're like, okay, we could not make him gay here, so let's send him to the United States. In 1999, I saw everything that from space that happened in space, everything that a person can see in life, I seen it. Then they had, I remember when I was a child, there was a guy. He was living life as Solomon in Brazil. He crushed Brazil many years, like economically speaking, because I never knew about economics and government and anything like that. I never got involved. I just used to see and be like, okay, I'll keep this for myself. I'm not gonna. I never even have thoughts on it because I was a child. I thought politics was when you are involved, then you act on, but I wasn't involved. I did not know economy was part of all of us, like each and every person. I thought economy, when they used to say economy, they were talking about the entire situation of the economy. I did not know it was a privilege for all of us. There is so much crap that if I say he might even start a World War III or IV, whatever. I even know how many numbers we have now. But then they said in 1999, I did not know. They start injecting Jesus in me, like fake churches. I won't complain because I had many good experiences in church. I don't like to talk much about church because they are kind of like a right arm, but there's a lot of corruption and fakeness and hypocrites in there. It's a lot of nasty in church, especially now that we're in the end. But back in the day, I used to meet a lot of good people. But I did not know that they were just good to me because they were fishing my ex-wife or Dakota. As I was living this whole struggle, they were building Dakota, which were going to become my ex-wife now. My ex-wife, which Brazilians are now based on her. The entire planet is based on her. She travels by facial provocation and so on. I don't have time to explain you the type of person. I was married to the thing, it. Then I did not know much about. I knew I started learning about the Bible, but I did not know Jesus' true, really deal about Jesus on earth. But people knew the TV and everyone else, so they always positioned themselves against me. So in 1999, I think was when Jesus was born or something like that. The new Jesus of world conspiracy. I did not know. They got together. They get together sometimes in sleep, at dreams. And there's so many ways that human beings get together for conspiracy against human beings, like individuals. They are single, are being put in the spot to even get killed or to become homosexual, to be turned into a homosexual in their human beings conspiracy. I did not know, so I always thought, I always dreamed to live in the United States dream. So they sent me to the United States. Everything happens too fast. They sent me to the United States. They multitask me with work, with women, with cars, with motorcycle, with things. Meanwhile, my brother and my family were acting behind my back. They were living their existence. They were doing parties. They were doing this. They were doing that. And there's another character behind the scene. There is supposed Gutenberg media, which has to do with Will Smith. Will Smith probably will try to claim the entire universe of media eventually in the future. Gutenberg, he positioned himself in an old friend of mine, Gutenberg Souza, which it's another rat of a criminal organized crime that he hides somewhere in the United States. Each and every character of Brazil that lived life with me back in the days as fake friends in the United States, they were part of a conspiracy that has to do with telemarketing. Women hide themselves from me in working for telemarketing, which has connection with 911 and 190 Brazilian fake police. They all try to control my every movements. They study me. They study my updates, the every moves that I do with my body. Has a child around me that will say something from far away to let me know that he knows what I'm doing. Either my mother let something drop, she will laugh. And at certain points that I'm doing things between walls, every single person shows me that they've been watching me within my eyes. Whatever I do now, I made researches to find out how they were doing this. I researched for the satellites. I researched for NASA. Everything else, there's none of them. NASA might look at me and look at my square. NASA called me and like mentally and told me what I'm supposed to do, which buy a house and be a part of a square of an entire place when they look at me and just get children and die someday. It's not NASA, it's not them. It's just people looking, people being parasites inside me, looking life within my eyes, looking life within me, which is a molestation. It's a harassment, 24/7 harassing me. Fat women that cannot walk, children that kind of like bisexuals, but they are kind of like boring of their families, and they heard from somewhere that I used to worship children, like kill children. Now I don't anymore because they are kind of like taking advantage of it, and they mass like create nasty environments for me. Most of their families are part of a conspiracy with an Afro-descendant that is taking someone's husbands and eventually will take the house. All of them has to do with venom, which is another creature, a spiritual creature that has connection with Africa. In Africa, they keep one guy, one demon there. It's called Zangimbeto. This Zangimbeto, it's a creature full of a grass, like dry grass. He sings and dances like like rotating. That spirit, it gives orders to many demons, Brazilians in United States and all over the world, freaks and all types of evil to impregnate on entrepreneurs and businessmen to make them feel sad and sick and lose their family, lose their house, eventually become poor and homeless. There is even a movie about that. I don't know the name, but there is a movie about every single thing on earth. Not to be cocky about, everything on earth moves because of me. It's supposed to move because of Jesus, which is what I follow, but they are making into moving about me. Whatever woman that I looked since I was born until this day, she becomes an actress. Whatever business that I admire, that I think that I put my mind into it, several homosexuals, they will go ahead of me. They will keep me without traveling. They will go ahead of me and they will start that. Whatever business, whatever goal of life that I ideal that I created myself, they will go and do before me. So that's how I've been living since then. Then after the United States, they create a situation with me. They put me through a lot of things. They build Thor. Thor is an element. It's a character that represents my old teacher when I was a child, when they molested me, bullied me in school. In Brazil, there's several theories of crime. Brazilians, they are now trying to repeat the environment of when I was a child. Now all the children and young men and young children the youth that is in Brazil now, they're all deja vu of that particular spot that they did against me in that little mud. Most of the demons that persecute me, they are from one guy that grew up with me. He was placed around me when I was a child just for that purpose, to learn from me, to become my shadow. He's a very nasty demon that betrays me every single time. He sells me short. He sells me to drug dealers. He sells me to the police. He sells me bad. He badmouths me with women. He takes jobs that I'm supposed to do. Whatever job or career that I try to pursue, he will take it from me. My brother is another shadow. It's the most dangerous snake a human being can ever create. Worse than Satan. Trust me when I tell you. Pretend to be nice and good guy, but in the end, he shows a lot of envy against me. It's very scary. He's actually married with my ex-girlfriend. Now he's flirting with my ex-wife, and he moves a big organization of UFC, MMA, and mixed martial arts, and all types of Indians and tribes of Africans and everything else. He tries to keep up with Bible, but he doesn't know much about. Whatever I think of the Bible, he takes the personality and he starts acting against me. He corrupted the police against me so that I cannot put him in his place, and he keep creating now situations to incriminate me within his conspiracy. Right now, after they incriminate me last time with an older man, this older man has to do with my brother's old sensei, which is Fidelis Luta. It's many other, like trillions of crimes and organized crimes and theories of conspiracy between this nasty project of man. So I'm not even gonna bother you with it. I try to dribble it when I can. When I cannot, I get mad. But I don't want to bog society with the scumbags and lowlifes. The United States, I know what it is. I have hopes. I know it's tough for the fake news man. I know it's not easy to come after a TV and speak to society in public what you think they should be doing it. I don't talk about much against TV because if I was rich, I would always expect my TV wearing my suit and I would kind of like interact, but because I did not reach the type of life, this type of life, I don't complain. I don't like when they send in directions from TV, which I can notice. I'm kind of a little faster now. Now I know when they're talking about, well, when they're assuming my thoughts. I know when they're thought provoking me. I know when they're talking about my history of life. I know when they're provoking me with my ex-wife, which I don't know where she is. I just want you to know that I know what you did in the past. I know Dakota. I know Nicole Place now. I know all the girls that I dated. I know prostitutes. Prostitutes, and even if I was God, I would take the name prostitute out of the dictionary. I would put a luxury shoulder. I would put like that, a luxury shoulder woman. That's what I would put in the dictionary. Homosexuals, I don't want to bring what I think about you this way. Because many times when I was sad, homosexuals helped me in the road when I was confused. The world had a time period in Earth that human beings, like conspiracy human beings and government, fake governments all over the world, especially United States fake government, because you're fake and phony, especially Brazilians, United States, everyone is fake and phony. You're just a conspiracy. You're just expecting something to happen. You don't do anything. You don't help. Your police is corrupted. You give benefits to criminals and so on. But I forgot my point. What I was trying to say is that I know it's tough for everyone. It's difficult for everyone. Most of the times I feel for the folks, for the youngs, even for the nasty gay children. But what I want to tell you is that I know how you make homosexuals. I know how it happens. I know how you hypnotize them and how you keep them hypnotized. I know how you stimulate them. I know how you push them to become a woman. I know how you push them to have surgery and cut their members and become a woman like you did with Bruce Jenner. I know how you do. I don't bring up to the table because I think it's none of my business. I don't know the guys inside to speak for him, but I know his masculine side of his brain. I know his masculine personality of the size of masculine side of his brain. I know, so I can talk about. And I know all the fake and phony shows of Oprah, different dimensions. What you are, basically what you are, Oprah, you're just like a client, basically a thief. You steal from society, you steal from Earth. For so many years, you're so fat and rich, I don't know how much you want to enlarge from any longer. You watch the entire planet, probably you look like you create one of me in each country so that you can look within our indoors. You are Sabino, you deal with people with problems, defects. When they're not looking, you people call them freaks. I don't call them freaks, I call them freaks when they try to attack my mother, which is scare of things that she never seen. If you bring a guy full of tattoo with horns in the face, she'll think he's the devil, so you cannot blame her to think that. Send a letter, say, hey, I have horns, I have like a tongue of a snake. Would you take me in? Would you accept? Would you look at me in a different way? She would tell you, like, maybe my mother don't have the same knowledge that I do, but I'm telling that's what, as her son, that's the space you should give. She might say, well, give me a time. Will you kill me if I don't accept you? Well, if you come from deep webs, you should stay there. We all know what freaks should do. You should start a circus and make money from it. You know, the entire planets have different personalities and ways of thinking. Why are you expecting people to act so nice and cute to you when you present yourself all crazy like that and gothic like that? I think that you should have manners and understanding and space notion. All the bullshit that you freaks, gothics, and Afro-descendant crimes, criminals, gay children, all your conspiracy, all your bullshit, I know. So stop like trying to offend my intelligence by mass provoking me, thought provoking me. You know, get a life. You American, you stole it from me already. The only person losing here is me. Why are you stalking me? Why are you thought provoking? What is in me that you need so bad that you can't live your life? Most of you idiots, you want me between a conspiracy between you people and my ex-wife. You all copy her and her facial, make different clones of her, homosexuals, and most white kids look at adamant. She look at the man through white kids, trying to provoke me and show me that she's more successful than me. Tough shit. I don't understand where you want to get. If I knew where you want to get, maybe I could help and maybe help you to leave me alone. But the only thing you do, you send children to me. I told you I will not fuck your children. That's what they really want, is me to fuck them so that you can start over what you did in the past. The entire Brazilian schooling is about what you did against me in that little spot. The name of this school is the name of the kid that you sent me that day. Passion of Christ movie, it's about that day. Mel Gibson, it's another gay motherfucker guy married that used to be my old neighbor that now I don't see him anymore. So you all placed your life into my misfortunes. I don't understand. From you, an idiot. If I would molest a kid and place my future on him, I would help and guide him to be successful, to help me. I would molest a kid, make his life a living hell, and then start blaming him in the end. So probably you're trying to make me suicide. That's the only answer. I'll come back another time with a different explanation for you, as you always beg me to explain you what it is about homosexuals. I will come to you, Earth, and explain to you the research that I did about homosexuals and how it get done. Take care.